Hey yo, what's up? We're having today some GASTRODON content for Great League, so let's see what is happening here as GASTRODON is gonna take over with a new mudslap. So I decided to use Shadow Drapion once again after a couple of seasons, because now that Poliwrath is out of the way, perhaps we can emerge victorious against anything that we're gonna face on the safe sweet spot, and on the worst case scenario we might actually get out of there with a shield advantage. So against Basil here we end up having kind of the most terrible lead ever, and now we're just gonna bring out Charjabug into the game. So as you can see here, Discharge is all we can do against Skarmory, and Skarmory is one of those Pokemon that also got nerfed this season, but at the same time it can still deliver big damage with that Brave Bird. Hopefully after the Brave Bird they get debuffed a lot on their defenses, so we can easily farm down with the resisted Mudslaps. One Body Slam to almost finish off that poor Basil, and all of a sudden a win condition emerges. They have an Azumarill at the very end. That Mudslap damage is crazy right now, and all we need to do is to block the following move, and right after, one Earth Power might actually do the trick over Azumarill. Down they go. Let's see now if Basil has quite what it takes. No, it doesn't, and that is gonna be an amazing victory to begin off today's content. So Ferrothorn is perhaps the worst lead scenario that you can get, because you are a mud boy and Ferrothorn is a pretty cool core breaker this season, and at this point we're just gonna keep going at it with our Shadow Drapion. Shadow Drapion here is able to deliver big time damage with the crunch. Also we have the shield advantage, so obviously here we can easily get on one Aqua Tail before we go down, and we manage to get both shields out of the game. This is absolutely crucial for the remaining of the battle. Now they switch out once again on Ferrothorn, but we can answer back at them with our Charjabug. Charjabug here can resist whatever they're gonna throw, but at some point we need to block because they are loaded on energy, back-to-back power whips already, and now we have access on the X-Scissor to do a little bit of extra pressure on their end. So I decide to block here because I'm getting kinda low, and I guess that I have two shields, so at some point we need to use them effectively. So at this point we're just gonna snipe down that weird Dragalge. Now with the Earth Power we can finish off that amazing Ferrothorn, and at the very end they have a Typhlosion, which is great news for our Mud Slapper. Let's slap this Pokemon out of Great League, and that is gonna be an amazing victory once again. Heading now into the next battle. And okay, for some reason my screen froze, but you're most probably seeing the battles. Anyways, we're back to action with the Wolverine here, and obviously we're just gonna switch out once again to our Shadow Drapion. So overall we're having a bunch of bad leads this time, and most of the times we're gonna do this, and of course here I'm getting my hands on the Aqua Tail. I'm just hoping to finish them off and still get on the crunch right after on the next Pokemon, which happens to be a Gastrodon of their own. They're already on half HP, and Drapion can either win that switch or go for the shield advantage. On this incident we managed to finish off that Wolverine, and in the process we can easily farm a ton with our own Gastrodon. I decide to go here for back-to-back body slams because they're loading on energy, and now we can easily catch the move on our Charjabug. This means now that the Earth Power can somehow be taken while they have the Marowak from Alola coming into the game. I'm telling you, this Pokemon has a lot of potential, and they decide to go here for a charge attack before we reach on the Discharge. I'm not sure if we could get there, but it is what it is, and now let's see how this is gonna be unfolded, because we managed to completely farm down, and now we get access on our Body Slam to finish them off in a crazy finale. Into the next game now, trainers, and we're gonna have a Sableye on the lead. So this Pokemon is always kinda unpredictable because they can go for those returns, and whenever you are not gonna shield it, well, this can be a game changer for this matchup. So obviously here I decide to go for the bait, and they are gonna call it, which is terrible for me. Now Mandibuzz joins the party, and hopefully Drapion can somehow chip away a nice amount of time till my switch timer comes back, and of course we can also chip away a really nice amount of HP that this Mandibus is having. And also on the plus side, we can outspeed this spammy beast, so they're getting now on some IRLACs most probably, which we can easily handle, and do one more Aqua Tail to finish them off. However, they decide to go for the move here by switching out on Sableye and do one more foul play. This is absolutely terrible for us as we almost go down to their move, and I want to rely completely on my Chargeback on the very end game. Down they go, they have a Toxapex at the back, so all of a sudden we get a win condition, one cheap charge attack with our body slam here, and followed up we're gonna have some X scissors to drop those shields out of play. My opponent is definitely shielding here, because even if that move goes unshielded, in combination with the Volt switches we can still do a ton of damage on them. So here comes now another X scissor, hopefully we can take the shield out of play, and now we can get on the discharge to finish them off in a weird combo of attacks. Straight now to the next game as we puzzle ourselves against Malamar. So Malamar is another huge winner from this season's big update of Great League, and I think that with Psywave it still gets a lot of play, especially against Cloudshare. So with that in mind, now we're just gonna have a positive matchup as the safe switch of their own is Azumarill, and yeah, Chargeback can easily handle this threat. We're already almost on that double discharge, and we're just gonna go on it pretty crazy. Let's see if my opponent lets that go through. Down they go, both of us now, we have all of our shields ready to go, and I get the perfect opportunity here to go for the shield and still guarantee a double X scissor on their end. However, they end up catching on Whimsicott, which is a decent catch I guess, and now my Shadow Drapion can easily wall down this Pokemon. Unless they have Hurricane, this is gonna be a very nice one for us. So double crunch is imminent here, and the poison stick damage from a Shadow Drapion still hurts a ton that pull Whimsicott. Down they go to the second crunch, and right after they stand no chance at all against my Pokemon because they are unshielded, pretty low on HP, and one Aqua Tail can easily grab this victory for us. Into the next game now, let's see what is happening here against Azumarill, which is another bad one for our team. Whenever I see an Azumarill on the lead, I always switch out on my Shadow Drapion because I feel like I can always threat them to no HP with the possibility of getting on that Sludge Bomb. Even though I do not have it, my opponents can always expect it, and that's why I always overfarm on this incident. So another crunch is imminent, but this opponent really knows what they're doing, and this is one of your unique incidents that I go for that crazy overfarm, and I spend 2 shields in the process against Azu. You might be thinking, Ganeto, you really messed this up, but guess again, we can take those shields back pretty easily because at the back they have a Shadow Feraligatr, and we can make them drop here the remaining energy that they have, and they only have one more shield as it seems. I decide to go here for the Aqua Tail. We can easily get the shield and the crunch now to finish them off. Let's get it, trainers. Down goes that Feraligatr, and now at the very end lies a Jumpluff. Unfortunately for us, this Pokemon can easily get to Acrobatics to finish us off, so let's see if they have that move. So only time will tell if they can finish us off, and hopefully they get to RLAs. This is also pretty great because they're trying to catch on the Azumarill, which we were expecting at this point. Down they go, and we have more X scissors to throw on that Pokemon. However, after that RLAs, I find myself in a very difficult situation because as it seems they can get here to another charge attack to finish me off. It all depends now on Shadow Drapion, which is already severely hurt but can survive the Fairy Wind and guarantee for us the next big victory. Into the next game now with a Drifloon on the lead, one of the worst leads, if not the worst, even worse than Ferrothorn for our team, because our backline really needs to get this thing going. So they have now Mudslap, on their Cantonian Marowak, which is another great meta Pokemon for Great League this season. So I decide to take every single move they throw, and I want to rely completely on my Chargeback on the very end game. I'm hoping for something like an Azumarill at the back, otherwise I stand no chance at all. So they end up having a Machamp which is still pretty great, and because I don't know how easy it is for Machamp to get to a Rock Slide this season with Karate Chop, we end up predicting the wrong move, and obviously we're just gonna fall short against a very skillful trainer who caught me off guard over here. Into the next game now, trainers, and let's see how this is gonna go with the Ninetales from the Alola region having Shadow mode on as well. So I decided to go here for the Body Slam, and obviously we can draw some pretty nice shields. So at this point I decided to go on the switch out on Drapion because I figured out that perhaps I will need my Gastrodon later on. So right now this is why I enjoy using Drapion as a Shadow over the regular one. It gets some pretty nice two shots against the entire meta, against threats like Altaria or Lantern if you get the first debuff, or up against something like a Skarmory as you can see here. So we can easily get that final shield out of play. Skarmory now goes down to our Volt switches, and we can easily also get to those X-Scissors for the Mad Boy. So I'm just gonna switch out on my Gastrodon. We can now get on our Body Slam to almost finish them off. Down they go on the following move. Hopefully we can reach to another Body Slam, but we cannot. I'm pretty sure here that whatever they throw, we can handle it at least once, so that's why I decided to get a little bit too cocky, and the next X-Scissor can finish them off in finesse. Into the final battle now, trainers, with a weird lead against another Mud Slapper. I'm telling you, Cantonian Marowak really does all the work this season, and it's a pretty fun and entertaining pick. This Pokemon has access to Rock Slide and of course Bone Club, so with Mud Slap it really is an all-rounder that you definitely need to try out. So Bone Club here will be blocked, and now they catch my Earth Power on Toxapex. Perhaps they're not gonna expect it. Almost down they go over here. Way much damage for that Pokemon, and just imagine that Toxapex is a bulky one, so down they go later on to my discharge on CMP. So I'm expecting the Marowak to return, but at this point we can easily have the upper hand with Chargeback over them with our X-Scissor. I decide to go here for more X-Scissors, but at the same time they want to switch out on that Dugong. I'm not sure why, but perhaps they are expecting something like a Clodsire for my backline. But instead of that I have a Shadow Drapion, of course, which can easily come in here, charge up a ton of energy, catch the move on Gastrodon, which was unnecessary, but still it happened, and right after we get to almost a crunch and a little bit more, I'm just gonna throw the Aqua Tail to finish them off, and one more Aqua Tail to destroy down the remaining HP that Marowak is having. That was an amazing final battle. Be sure to show your appreciation to today's content by liking the video or becoming a subscriber of this channel if you are already not one. With that said, thank you for watching, trainers, and I hope to see you all into the next one.